That Which Is, by Alfred Aiken. Chapter 3. Mind. What is mind? To whom does mind belong? Where is mind located? What is mind's relationship to intelligence? How does mind acquire wisdom? How many minds are there? These questions have plagued the human race since the days of Adam. To the Adam sense, there can be no satisfactory answer. As the preacher declares in Ecclesiastes, "What profit hath a man of all his labor, which he taketh under the sun? All is vanity and vexation of spirit. Of making books there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh." Ecclesiastes 1:3, 2:17, 12:12. The Adam, or human sense, is finite, with nothing but an assumed beginning as its basis for reasoning. Beside assuming a start or cause, it also provides an ending for itself and all it embraces. Its personal record is short, a few days and full of trouble. It cometh forth like a flower and is cut down. It fleeth also as a shadow and continueth not. Why? Because it ignores, is contrary to truth. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. Job 14:1-2 and 4. The mortal or human mind deals only with supposition, with its sense of limited, measurable dimension. It depends on cause and effect, time, place. Its cause is inseparable from effect, is both cause and effect, for each effect serves as cause for further effect. When does this chain, this cause-effect evolution, terminate? To some theological followers, the personal sense, or soul, is believed to go on ad infinitum. But can such mortal sense comprehend eternity? No. Why not? Because the finite sense lacks scope. It lacks the depth of reality, truth. It assumes its endless starts and stops necessary to evolve or advance to a higher plane or dimension. Its anticipated ultimate evolution is bizarre, fantastic. With some, it is reputed to be an angelic form with wings, some a devil with horns, or a state between these two extremes. The general public believes that each human being has a separate mind which can think for itself. It also assumes that each lesser animal has a mind with which it can think, but on a lower scale than the man-mind. While some men admit that there is a divine intelligence, God, he is assumed to share presence, power, and prestige with evil, and to be much less active or specifically involved in intimate daily affairs. Any effort of a human mind to grasp the untarnished, unlimited, unconditional intelligence is hopeless. It cannot know or understand the things of God. Why? Because it is not intelligent. The human sense does not deal in or with truth. To mind, God, it has no reality, no entity, no being. The Infinite One is the only mentality there is. No other so-called mind exists. To understand these things and not be found wanting, one merely needs to behold that as mind, intelligence is infinite. There can be but that one. Hence there is no finite or human, no personal or contrary, reversed or perverse identity, state or condition. Duality, a finite and an infinite state, is impossible, for one is the perpetual exclusion of the other. Your mind is either infinite, divine, and there is naught finite, or it is finite, and there is nothing divine, infinite. One does not approach mind via education, reincarnation, evolution, mental gymnastics, or memory. It is not through better breeding, better living, better thinking that one perceives his identity, self, is aware of presence, intelligence, consciousness, life eternal. One does not evolve into heaven, nor progress via cause-effect into a state of plenty, security. One cannot take the kingdom of heaven by storm, nor wrest his identity, self-awareness, therefrom. Prayer, or begging God for light, love, direction, security, or protection, will bring finite hope nothing beyond a self-satisfaction that it has done all within its dimensional power to invoke divine aid. However, God is not moved by human appeal, nor by finite emotions. God knows no such. What, then, you may ask, is the good of turning to God? If God knows not our suffering, what help is there for us? What can we do to be saved? Where shall we look? What price must we pay for salvation? Or is there no salvation? Are we doomed to final extinction once this short span of mortal life is finished? Is there nothing beyond? Is this present earthly experience all there is to life? Is this corrupt, cramped, dimensional concept the whole of us, our Alpha and Omega? Fear not. Be not dismayed. See Isaiah 41:10. God is not callous. God is not cruel. God is not unjust. God is not lacking tenderness, love, gentleness. God is love itself, life itself, mind, intelligence, light. Yea, God is being itself everywhere. Nothing, no one, no thing beside God has being. There is only omnipresence. There is no racial personality, no limited, unhappy, uneducated, or supereducated offspring of Adam, of biology, nor of God. God is all, one. This leaves no sinning one, no mortal person young or old, no physical, ailing, sick, or well one, nothing in addition to God, the only. This one is the whole of this self I call me, the total substance, presence, consciousness, power, awareness, identity, perfection, intelligence. Do you doubt this? Do you challenge the truth that infinite reality is the alone presence? Waste no time with that which reasons from the human up to the divine, but look out from truth. Which was first, infinite God or personal finite human sense? If truth was first, all, when and why did the changeless change himself so he would be less than himself, the absolute? What need or impulse brought God to such a decision? Was the all-inclusive satisfied one lonely? Was the complete lacking some good thing? Being the forever alone one, when did intelligence give up its unique nature and commit an untruth, violate itself to become less than intelligent? When did God decide to be but one of two or more, one among many? When did irrefutable truth begin to lie, commit fraud, falsify reality? Did God discover that he was not all, that there was another power and presence beside himself? For mind to know what it cannot know is absurd. Art thou not from everlasting, O Lord my God, mine Holy One? Thou art of purer eyes than to behold evil, and canst not look on iniquity. Habakkuk 1:12-13. Infinite mind, perfection cannot evolve. It cannot develop, become more perfect by means of reasoning, or by a process of trial and error, as implied in the second account of Creator and creation in Genesis. Mind does not seek outside itself for knowledge of itself. It is conscious, total. No more of mind is yet to come. It is already complete. This does not mean, however, that mind is stagnant, bored, or suffering from dull routine. On the contrary, all is always new, fresh, vital. It will take mind forever to plumb fully the depths of its own wondrous magnificence, beauty, splendor, majesty, and might. Each moment is bursting with surprise and delight throughout eternity. Whatever is not mind, consciousness, does not exist to be identified, experienced, felt, suffered, denied, known, cast out, healed, cured, nor stopped. The perfection mind is needs no teaching, helping, evolving, elevating, correcting, healing, changing, or purifying. Mind does not rejoice and enjoy as a human being emerging from matter into spirit, but as conscious awareness, here and now, individually identified as this very I that I am. Finite so-called mind cannot know anything because there is nothing finite to know, and no such mind. The awareness mind has right here of its allness is the light that forever excludes darkness, not as something, but because darkness could only be if the light were absent. As light is omnipresent, there is no opposite, no place where it is not. Darkness, evil appearing as disease, fear, hatred, want, suffering, insanity, old age, death, and an endless variation of troublesome assumptions that a power other than beneficent God is here at work, cannot hold mastery over mind. Intelligence cannot touch God at any point, for where light is, there can be no darkness. Light does not have to battle darkness in order to be. There is no war between God and evil. God has no opposite. Light is single, one, all forever, and forever all, wherein no darkness ever is, no ignorance, fear, mortality, devil, human existence, or hell. Again and again we reiterate that this can only be seen from mind's viewpoint. Why? Because there is no other. One has no choice. God chooses to be all without finite sanction or so-called human approval. To an assumed mentality, conscious reality is inconceivable. God is a fable. Life is uncertain, unstable, ephemeral. Substance is always imperfect, insufficient. Intelligence is incomplete, localized. The present is subject to the past and a future. And identity is the product of biology. There is no mind in this any more than it is in mind. You, me, we are not in it, nor of it. It is not in us. To make identity clear, let us use an example of a diamond. Imagine this diamond to be infinite, perfect like God, the perfect, infinite one. Being infinite, the diamond would be all there was everywhere, all-inclusive entirety. Whatever was seen, whatever facet was touched, it would be the diamond only. The facet, while eternally distinct, complete, whole, does not exist apart from the gem. Its substance, color, beauty, and value, or its flaw, its imperfection, lies within the stone alone. No credit and no guilt belong to the facet, for all is the diamond, even as the diamond is all of the facet. Now with God, the omnipresent perfect whole one, no matter what, where, or when, it is the infinite one who is life, mind, substance, identity, individual, the all of all. There is no absence of conscious awareness anywhere, no facet or conscious individual manifestation, no idea or thing of mind, presence, action missing. There is no vacuity, no ignorance, nothing foreign, nothing finite, no lack of conscious absolute good. Despite education to the contrary, no mortal or human sense has a valid claim to identification, body, substance, world, personal possession, background, or history. So long as one clings to such, he is clinging to a fabrication which has no reality, authority, power, foundation, place, identity, or existence. It cannot be redeemed, atoned for, rescued, or saved. To mind, infinite good, it is no more genuine or real than a flat earth. Continuing our illustration of the diamond, it is foolish to assume that each facet has to earn its substance, place, position, value, continuity, or identity. Its being is already established and will continue so long as the diamond exists. Each idea is likened to a facet of the gem, but each is not the same identical cut. No two are alike, for the infinite one does not duplicate himself. Each idea is individually distinct, complete. We are not our own in the sense of personally belonging to ourself, possessed with ability to turn prodigal or shift away from God. We are ever with God, for only God is the entirety, the indivisible individual one. We are eternally whole, perfect, distinct, being no other self than the one individually all-inclusive self, I am. God, like the diamond, requires every facet in order to be wholly perfect in beauty, color, and value. Never is there one too many or one too few. Look at the self I am. What a glorious beauty, being, identity is mine. The eternity, infinity, continuity of myself, the irrefutability of my perfection, the breadth, depth, and indubitable accuracy of my wisdom, the ever-availability of my intelligence. This present, conscious awareness does not detract from my all-inclusive knowledge, truth, but gives God the full measure of glory, power, and honor that belongs entirely, exclusively to Him. It is the measure of adoration that infinite intelligence is individually bestowing upon Himself as the one altogether lovely, the alone who can know no other. All evil, sin, disease, hell, denies fact. To begin with such and hope to come up with the right answer concerning the sinless, changeless, uncontested absolute, the all-inclusive intelligence, mind, is impossible. It would be as sensible to begin with every imaginable mistake or misstatement concerning the sum of 2 and 2, and expect to arrive at the correct sum. Should one begin by declaring that the sum of 2 plus 2 is not 5, nor a million, not a house and lot, not an ocean, and so forth, he could go on forever with negative truths and never know what 2 and 2 are. Only positive truth enables one clearly to behold negation to be nothing. Energetically naming trouble nothing frequently reveals that the one doing the denying is believing it to be something. When a doubt or difficulty confronts you, the concise absolute awareness of what is, that infinite mind, is the sole consciousness individually identified right here as the whole of me, the I that I am, is all that is required to see that anything contrary is without authority, validity, reality, authenticity. It is this simple. To know truth, one must start with truth, the unaltered reality of God's conscious, omnipotent perfection, or else one will blunder and fumble endlessly in the mire of negatives. This visible world you are now conscious of is Spirit's world, the kingdom of heaven, of ideas, things, within all-inclusive mind, just as truly as this very earth is not flat but is round. There is no other world, any more than there is a second earth. It is folly to assume that we must wait or struggle to make our world spiritual, or to stop our earth from being flat. The only world there is the true one, the one of truth. It cannot regain its perfect status because it has never lost it. Perfection contains no imperfection that can produce a flaw that will bring about its destruction. For as long as civilization has claimed existence, it has been trying to educate and evolve a higher form of human. The purpose was not only survival, but human dominance. Man has tried to aid nature to bring forth higher forms of animals, plants, things on the lower planes. Each generation has prided itself in advancing above its forebear. That heaven, man's ultimate utopia, has been brought nearer realization. That darkness, evil, superstition has been pushed back. But is it civilization or God who is the answer to heaven? Is it human evolution or divine perfection that rids the world of evil? The more assiduous the attack on evil and sin in order to wipe them out, the more hardy they have become, ever appearing in new, more attractive, subtle, and refined forms. Why? Because they are recognized and admitted to be something, to exist as reality, having bona fide identity. Evil does not care if it is loved or hated. It merely needs to be acknowledged as present. Whether legitimate or illegitimate makes no difference to it, for then it has place, power, a name. It has proved God, truth, to be a liar, for God claims he is the alone one, all. Evil would assume that it is, and then, because of this assumption, claim that God has fathered it, hence given it might and authority. Such so-called reasoning is like a child who writes on the blackboard that 3 plus 2 equal 11, then claims this is now the correct answer because he can see it right there before him. Naturally, then, the correct answer to this sum is no longer correct. It supposedly has been supplanted by an ignorant assumption. Does this sort of reasoning proceed from unerring mind or alter unbreachable truth? Why not? To struggle with or against evil, problems, sin, and human misbehavior brings heaven no closer than it is. Theology frantically tries to forge ahead and establish a spiritual renaissance. To ecclesiasticism, mind, reality, truth is as elusive as ever. Plenty, happiness, sanity, love, security, health, general peace and well-being are still a long way from being universally the norm. The world of Adam, humanity, is held in the grip of fear. Fear of a new type of nuclear war that may wipe man off the planet. Fear of the unknown, of disease, lack, disaster, death. No portion of the globe seems free. Economic struggles, family disputes, personal limitations, unprecedented crimes among teenagers, moral ignorance, confusion, anxiety, and a great longing for peace, God's will, fill the land. Where only can satisfaction be found? What do the leaders tell us to do? Where would they have us seek? Does their admonition to pause and take thought increase the struggle to lay hold on theology's God, improve, evolve, have more faith in the great unknowable? Does this help? If so, would it not have solved the situation long ago? Do we have to be urged along these lines? Have we not all spent the midnight hours on bended knee, beseeching aid from a deity who supposedly is aware of our weaknesses, our needs, nay, supposedly uses these methods of torment as a whip to drive us to him? Dear reader, the God of love knows naught of such suffering, sinners, trouble. He knows nothing of the blind who are leading the blind into their own ditch of nonsense. As man, a mortal or human being, all the finite effort, doctrinal belief, personal, racial, and spiritual evolution, drastic, modern, and progressive education will reveal no truth. There is no God in any of it. None of it is in God. Mind is truth, God, and is all the truth. No truth can be found outside of mind, God. Thou canst not see my face, for there shall no man see me and live. Exodus 33:20. No man hath seen God at any time. John 1:18. No man hath ascended up to heaven. John 3:13. In thy sight shall no man living be justified. Psalm 143:2. There is no more of a solution for humanity, no matter what it does to save or redeem itself, than there is one for a flat earth, for neither exists in truth. There is only one existence, and that one is divine. You are not human or man. You are mind, consciousness, individually present and holy throughout. You do not have to beseech or beg God to be kind, loving, righteous, or just, for how can the perfect one conduct himself in any other manner toward himself? Regarding man's so-called world, it has worked itself to its present dilemma by finite methods, which ignore intelligence. While many statements of doctrinal philosophy may be true, they are but lip service to spirit. The actual realization, within the heart, the evidence that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, and not still being waited for, not still afar off, is not manifest. So long as this people honoureth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me, Mark 7:6, the way cannot be plain. He who is double-minded has two ways, one right and the other wrong, two existences, one spiritual and the other material, human, that of the flesh, is unstable in all his ways. James 1:8. Evil did not originate with anyone, anywhere, at any time. No one is guilty of its inception. There is no evil, for God is all. In this light we see light, not by looking as man or to man, finite opinion, humanhood, but by looking as mind, ourself, upon all that this conscious life, identity, I am intelligence, includes. We need do nothing. The infinite present God is already all of all. What can possibly be added to make perfection more complete? We do not have to make life become life. We do not have to let consciousness be consciousness. Love is already love. God does not wait for our, man, human, mortal, personal, decisions, permissions, nor does God know aught of carnal repudiations, rebellions, refusals, tantrums, or denials. God is one God, all intelligence, all presence, all identity, and mind knows this to be eternal truth. This infinite truth, individually, consciously beheld, is all that mind can know or be aware of. Light never knows an absence of itself, a something it has to remove, correct, overcome, cast out, or get rid of. Mind knows no other, hence none that needs help, saving, purifying, or redeeming by the blood of Jesus or otherwise. God being always all without another, has never had a world go sour, become evil, require saving. This truth is as available as easy for you to use and enjoy as it is for God himself, for mind is the whole of you, your individual identity. God is no respecter of persons. Acts 10:34. For God is the sole person, the infinite individual, so does not smile more upon one than upon another. This one, present everywhere, is infinitely individual, individually infinite. The very one writing these pages, the one reading these pages. There is no thing personal, nor any personal one throughout the entirety of infinity. There is neither teacher nor student, no leader nor follower, no Savior nor redeemed one, or one still to be saved, no healer nor one healed, no sinner nor saint. There is only God, being God everywhere. There is only the perfect diamond, inclusive of every facet, each facet being diamond only. This is thyself. Behold it, and discover that all the ends of the earth, Isaiah 45:22, are saved already. For the sole substance and identity of all is perfect, sinless mind, who needs no saving, never having fallen. He who knows mind knows that mind is the whole of him, of all, world without end. Waste no time with another, for there is no such.